Hello and welcome to our video review session with Indy and No Bones About It puppy training. So I'm going to quickly go through all of the skills that we've been working on this week and that we will continue working on each week in Puppy Day School for the next 4 weeks. So my goal in the beginning is really just to create a solid foundation where this puppy understands that the value of working for me, and then transferring that value over to you. And we'll talk about kind of how that process and how that happens over the next couple weeks. So you can see I kind of use this training platform as a place to work on skills like sit and down and just focus. The puppies learn really quickly that this is a place where good things happen, okay? And it really, again, we're gonna eventually move this mat off of this little platform, and we're teaching a go to your place cue. But again, we start kind of all our training up here, and it really does establish a good basis for our puppies to know, oh, time to work, here we go. The main skill that we teach from day one is called name game. Come here, up, up, up. And it's not about teaching your puppy their name per se, it's about teaching your puppy that when you hear your name, you stop what you're doing and you come find me and you give me focus, okay? So it's really simple. We have the kind of way that we piece together our cues, our words, is that we usually will give a cue, then we use something that we call a marker word. A marker word is the word yes for us. Yes marks the exact moment your dog does what we're looking for. So in this instance, it's when your dog gives you that head turn or that eye contact, and eventually when they get closer to me. So we're gonna give the name, which is really our cue right now. All I'm saying is the puppy's name. I don't use a word like watch me or anything. It's just that when I say your name, you stop what you're doing, you look at me. The minute I get that eye contact, I'm gonna use the word yes. And then that's gonna be followed by some kind of reward. And again, that's how our positive reinforcement training works, is that we reward the puppy over and over for a behavior until the dog sees the value in it, and then they want to perform that behavior on their own, and then eventually we can wean off of using these food rewards, okay? So let me give you a few examples of how we're going to practice this. I'm going to take a little treat. I'm just going to toss it away from me so that the puppy has something to go walk away, be distracted by. Indy, look what I got. Ready? Go find it. Good job. Indy! Yes! Good job. Okay, we just keep playing this game. Hey, go find it. Indy! Yes! Good job! Good job. Very nice. And let's try one down here. So usually when I'm tossing treats away and doing a go find it, all I'm doing is, I have a puppy over here just desperately trying to escape and get over here. So I usually just use kibble as the go find it. And then, Indy! Yes! Good job! And then I use something really, really yummy when the dog responds to their name, okay? Go find it. Indy! Yes! Good job! Okay, now let's talk about what I'm doing with my hands, my treats, all that kind of stuff, because it's really important. And again, this kind of is pervasive in everything that we do. Do you want to come over here and hang out while we're talking? Come here. Yes. Okay, so I use the word yes when the puppy gets up here because I want to. And success. Okay. So let's talk about what I'm doing with my body language, my hands, my treats, all that kind of stuff, okay? So I always have food on me. Again, it's the fastest, most rewarding way to work with the dog. However, I do not sit and have treats like this in front of my body, okay? If I have treats already in my hands, they're slightly behind my back, I might have them in a pocket, I might be tossing them to other puppies that are not working with me so they don't cry so much. But again, I'm always gonna wanna keep those treats out of the visual of a puppy, because if I do this, this becomes the sole focus of this puppy's eye contact. Their brain is thinking, cookie, cookie, cookie. Now, yes, they know I have cookies here, but your body language is going to be really important. So I just want to make sure that we point that out. We're constantly using our bodies to, I'm going to skip that part. I'm just going to say, I just want to make sure that you're aware of that, because it's really, really important. Because eventually when we wean off of these treats, if your puppy is used to seeing this hand out in front and all of a sudden it goes away, it changes things for the puppy mentally. They go, oh, she doesn't have any cookies in her hand, I'm not doing that. So we really want to be conscious about where our hands are and what we're doing. Oh, okay, so here's a great segue into our second skill that we're teaching, which is hand targeting. Touch. Up, up, up. Touch. Yes. Touch. Yes. Up, up, up. Touch. No, right here. Up, up. Touch. 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 Okay, so you saw I left my hand out for a second. The puppy was really just kind of got distracted. Didn't want to do the touch because I had my hand sitting out in front. Yes, good job. Okay, so let me tell you what just happened here. Up in the background, there was some distraction because one of the neighbors was doing some raking, and it is something that Indy could see, or couldn't see, but could hear. And so immediately we had some barking going on because of some reactivity barking because of the sound that was happening. Our concept of hand targeting, which is also called the touch game, it is simply a method of redirecting your puppy, okay? It doesn't seem like a skill that is very valuable, but in fact, it tends to be one of the skills that all of my clients say, wow, I am so glad my puppy is so good at that. It is so useful in so many different scenarios. So let's take, for instance, the reactivity barking. It does not work very well to say, don't bark, stop it, quiet. The dog is still fully hyper-focused on whatever it is that they're reacting to. So what we do is we get the dog to do something that mentally takes their focus away from that thing and redirects their focus to us. That's what hand targeting can do. And we can use it everywhere. We can use it on the go, on a walk. We can use it in the house. We can use it out here when we're practicing. So it's very simple. All it is I'm gonna extend my open palm to the side slightly so that it's very visible to the dog. I don't want to be super like, if there's not a lot of motion involved, meaning if I just kind of gently put my hand out here, oh, I know, you're already good at this. It's not quite as obvious to the puppy. We want to make a decent gesture, okay? So our hand is going to sort of come out to the side around the puppy's nose level. We're going to ask them to touch, and all they need to do is to bump their nose to the palm of our hand, all right? And when they do that, I'm going to use my marker word yes, and then it's going to be followed by a treat, okay? So let's see if we can get, sometimes when a puppy, one of the things we work on up here on this little mat is don't move until you hear your release cue, which is okay. And so sometimes to get the puppy to get off of this is a little challenging. So we're going to try to see if we can do that with our hand target. Indy, touch. Yes. Good. That was very good. Touch. Now I'm going to ask for a second touch. I'm not going to put my hand away. This is harder. 2 touches. Excuse me. Over here. Yes. Good. Let's try it again. Touch. Yes. Okay, good. So I got a good touch and then kind of a nose swipe. That's okay. We'll take that. Touch. Yes. Good. Okay. The reason that I'm asking for more than one nose touch right now is that eventually I want to build up to a dog that's really, really persistent with that nose touching, because again, it holds their focus, so they're not. So again, they're more apt to pay attention to me and not to the thing that they're being reactive towards. Yes, thank you. So every time the puppy gets up here on their own, I'm giving a yes, thank you. We've practiced a lot of down, go to your bed, things like that. So every time the dog kind of offers that behavior here, I'm really heavy about just tossing kibble down. And again, we go through tons and tons of treats. And when I'm continuously treating for something, I'm just using her kibble so that she's not getting overly fed with high rich treats, which happened day one. It gave her a little bit of a bellyache, but now she's good. She's good. And remember, our release word is okay. We didn't cover that in the beginning. So when I'm going to let her know she's done, she's finished, she can take a break, I'm going to give her that word. So, Indy! Oh, I got to find that last cookie. Okay! See, she doesn't want to get up because why would you want to leave this place? It's so warm. It's so cozy. You got lollipops. Yeah, that's so good, babe. That's a good hey. All right, and then the last thing that, again, we're building on from day one is that word come, that responsiveness to not just their name game, but us adding the word come, which means wherever you are, you need to run into me as fast as humanly possible and really stay focused until I give you another job or release you, okay? So it is the exact same thing as name game, except for we're adding the word come, all right? So I'm gonna, go ahead, go find it. Go find it. So I try to gain a little bit of distance. Indy, come! Yes, good job. Sometimes I'll add a little collar grab just so the dog gets used to being kind of controlled. If I want to hook up a leash, they're used to coming in and getting that feeling of being caught. Ready? Go find it. No, we're gonna do another go find it. Good job. Good job. Indy, come! Yes, good job. Very nice. Oh, it's so good. Oh, so good. Very nice. Okay, so we're gonna call it there. That's a lot of information, okay? And again, Indy's only been here for a week. Wow, lots of things that we've, she's super smart. She's so smart. She catches on to stuff really quickly. She's really eager to work. So a lot of this is just gonna be repetition, kind of honing in her skills, but also teaching her self-control. She's gonna be a really high-driven dog, and a lot of what we need from her is for her to understand that she's got to practice self-control. You guys soon have a great weekend.